Hi, I'm Dr. Lane Peterson, and I want to talk a little bit about the dialectics module from my second edition of the expanded DBT skills training manual, DBT for self-help and for individual and group treatment settings. You know, when clients come to DBT, oftentimes they don't know what DBT actually stands for, and so it's kind of fun to tell them that it stands for Diabolical Behavior Therapy, and of course that gets a good laugh from most clients, and then of course you tell them that it actually stands for Dialectical Behavior Therapy. But suffice to say, most clients don't really know what dialectics are, and in fact most people on the street probably wouldn't know how to define dialectics if you went up and asked them. So what are dialectics? Well, the simplest way to explain dialectics is that they are the synthesis or the integration of opposites. Dialectics actually go back to ancient philosophers who recognized that there's no such thing as an absolute truth, there's no such thing as an absolute position. In where we oftentimes get caught between black and white, all or nothing, either or, this and that, these ancient philosophers recognized it was much better to look at how these different opposites actually relate to one another and define one another rather than simply going back and forth between the extremes. The great thing about dialectics is that when we start practicing dialectics in our lives, we're able to find more balance in our thinking and much more balance in our relationships and in the behaviors that we choose. And it helps us to move toward change. And of course, change is another part of dialectics. Now, one thing about the dialectics module in my updated manual here is I try to make it really straightforward for clients. And in particular, I want clients to be able to go from this kind of abstract intellectual way of thinking about skills, and what we've been talking about so far is a little bit abstract. I like them to go from that to getting into the practical application of what these concepts actually mean in life and how we actually put them into our lives. So I want to attach a free handout that you can use with your clients. It has some very practical and straightforward dialectical exercises that can help your clients with some movement, and hope you enjoy the worksheet. Thank you.